Hello and welcome back to another episode of Bad Pitch Energy. And what a week it was in Major League Baseball, Robyn. How's it going?
It's going well. Well, I always start off saying it's going well, just because I think I'm conditioned to say it's going well, but I'm ready to give up on life. How about you, Tom?
Pretty much the same. And I think what has been really difficult is when things are tough in life, there are 6 months out of the year in which I have an outlet to turn to. Mm-hmm. And that is generally baseball. And the problem lately, or at least the problem this year with baseball, is baseball is wanting me to, or is making me turn away to other things. And so, I don't know. I feel like we are in an unwinnable situation here, which is why my drink of the week, Kona Big Wave.
I am
yours
to water
is
today.
Well, you're better than me. It is a Sunday night, and we do have work tomorrow.
Night. We have work tomorrow. I also have homework, and I have I was about to say midterms. I have finals coming up.
Oh boy!
So
yes,
water it is. Unfortunately,
much more responsible than me. However, let's talk about teams that are currently not being responsible. So this time last week we recorded, the Mets were in the midst of, I believe at the time it was an 11-game winning streak. Well, losing streak, winning streak. Imagine. They made it to a 12-game losing streak. And then they won 2 games. I mean, it was truly, truly a miracle against...
Juan Soto came back.
Yes,
yes.
Yeah, Juan Soto came back. Miracle Man Juan Soto. In typical Mets fashion, Juan Soto, who missed the last 3 weeks or so with an oblique injury, comes back. In that very same game, Francisco Lindor injures his oblique, exits the game, and he's going to be out for not weeks but months because his injury is apparently more severe, and he is in a walking boot and essentially needs to walk around in this walking boot for 3 weeks before they even assess anything else. So this is a long-term injury now for Francisco. Ironically, just as he was heating up, he had been mashing in the 2 games back in New York, hit a home run or 2. So par for the course for the New York Mets, where we get Juan Soto back. We think, okay, we're going to have a more complete lineup. Francisco Lindor starting to hit. And now we have lost him probably until June. So wonderful things happening. But
the Mets have been really funny, though. And as a more, I would say funny as in the memes just keep memeing. I think... I guess in that regard, like, I feel like in my friendship with you, I've seen just how the Mets operate. And the Mets have been Metsing.
The Mets have been Metsing. And I think the Mets, I think they purely exist for entertainment value. Like, I think the aspect that they are a Major League Baseball team that at least is supposed to be competitive is ancillary to the fact that they exist to entertain, and win or lose, the one thing I will say about the New York Mets is they entertain. And I think you have picked up on that, Robyn, as you've been kind of by force having to follow the Mets a little bit more closely.
Yes. I've also do follow a group of Mets fans online on our Twitter account, and they have been keeping me well entertained. I think, okay, so just some funny things even. All the memes about Mark Vientos have killed me. This is also a game that they won too, but the conversation that came after the winning game was not the fact that the Mets broke their losing streak. It was the fact that everyone knows Mark Vientos is slow, except for Mark Vientos.
I know. That man. And it was the game that they had won. He essentially was given the stop sign by the Mets third base coach not to round third and try and score. And he just blew right through that. And here's the thing. I mean, there are players who can blow through the stop sign, but they generally have really strong athletic ability and are very, very fast. Mark Vientos Yes. Like, they're able to make it. Mark Vientos lacks speed and athletic ability.
I think I'm faster than Mark Vientos, and I am slow. I am not a runner. But like this is like the ones where like Trey Turner, easy, blow past, no one will say anything. This was like I think all the memes came up. It was like just like a grandpa running. It was so funny. But then
I mean,
the
it
Mets
really
kept
like
Metsing.
Yes, this was a game where Brazoban came in and right. This is the same game, I think.
Yes, this is the Brazoban game. Yep.
Yes. Yeah. So I mean, Huascar Brazoban, who's been actually probably one of the Mets' better relievers this year, comes in. I think he casually gave up a grand slam. Most of the runners were inherited, though, so no big deal. And so, he finishes off the inning, finally looked really sharp to close off the inning in the 8th. And then Devin Williams, the Mets' beleaguered closer, if you even want to call him a closer, because he does not, in fact, close out baseball games. He was warming up in the bullpen. And so it was Devin Williams. He got his little intro. Lights are flashing. We do the whole closer introduction thing still, even though Edwin Diaz left us. And so, Devin Williams is more of a light show. Got some music coming on. Great. Starts to come out, running out of the bullpen in center field. Problem is, Brazoban also bolts out of the dugout. And he crosses the white line from, foul territory into fair territory, heading to the pitcher's mound. And the problem was, he was not supposed to. He was, in fact, not even supposed to take the field. And so, because Brazoban entered fair territory, re-entered the game in the 9th, even though he was not supposed to, he had to pitch to at least one batter. And thankfully, he was able to get the out. But just, if that was not emblematic of the issues on the 2026 New York Mets, and I mean something as basic as communication, right? Oh man, I don't know what was. What an embarrassing thing for both Brazoban, and to his credit, he owned up to it late, in the post game, because New York media was like foaming at the mouth.
What happened?
He was just like, yeah, just something got lost in communication, and I didn't realize this, that, the other. And I'm like, oh my God, like this is just one thing after another. Something that is entertaining, right? But just always something with this team. And here we are, we're recording on a Sunday night. You'll be listening to this episode on Monday or at some point this week. And the Mets are once again the worst team in Major League Baseball at 9-19. Just got swept by the Colorado Rockies. We see Bo Bichette. Oh, yeah. Tell me about this.
Yeah, I was going to say, one of my friends actually was at the Mets game. Johanna, she went there with some friends. She's like, don't trust the French. The French will get you bad tickets. The French chose the Mets game. But
the nosebleeds?
No, I think they actually had decent seats, but it's more of like the friend chose the Mets. As
to go to the Mets,
go to yes. And so she was like, yeah, we were at the first game. I had a lot of fun, but we were losing by a lot. And then she's like, and everyone started leaving by the 6th. And so they ended up leaving too. And the worst part is this is a double header. So the Mets were like, you can watch us lose again an hour later. And they lost again. I remember all the tweets on Saturday. They're like, hey, at least we can say the Mets aren't going to lose today. They'll just lose twice tomorrow. And
they sure did.
And they sure did.
I think they scored one run between both games.
Yep.
I mean, pitiful.
No, I'm in 2 fantasy leagues. One that we're doing as a group, and one that my sister accidentally joined a public league. Somehow, okay, so my sister and I, we both, for some reason, are really good at clicking the wrong button and accidentally joining public leagues. And so we're in a public baseball league, and we had Bo Bichette. So I'm like, yes, you know what? It's a double header. It's Bo Bichette. Maybe we'll get some points. Girl. Girl. Bo Bichette
Oh,
sitting by
no.
himself in the dugout after all the game and after both games ended, probably questioning
Awful.
why he made this decision in the first place.
And truly, if I'm Bo Bichette, and I know you got a massive payday, things are looking great.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot imagine being Bo Bichette and just like how do you calculate what has happened here? How do you understand? You went from, and if you're watching on YouTube or Spotify right now, you can see this is good old Bo. Just if this doesn't tell a story of the New York Mets 2026 season, I don't know what does, because he just looks dejected. Now, he's not helping the cause here.
No, he isn't.
But I mean, I think it's hard. This is what I think about, Robyn, is the New York Mets have scored the fewest runs in Major League Baseball. They have scored 92 runs all season long. The nearest team is the Giants. They've scored 97 runs. I think when you have a team that consists of guys like Bo Bichette, Juan Soto, Francisco Lindor, professional top hitters in the game, they've got to be baffled why they are not able to contribute and produce like they normally do. And
I have a theory.
Okay, tell me, what's the theory?
My theory is that you should look at their hitting coach.
Oh my god.
This is my tinfoil hat theory. Their hitting coach is the former Astros hitting coach. Is it Troy Snitker?
Yep.
And if you look at the Astros offense this year compared to their offense last year, we have still scored the most runs in the league because everyone has all of a sudden magically started hitting again. Yeah. Snitker gets hired by the New York Mets, and everyone seems to have forgotten how to hit a ball. And not to mention, this weekend, he was also not present because he went to the Braves game. He went to Atlanta since his dad was getting inducted into the Atlanta Braves Hall of Fame. So
former manager of the Braves.
Is there some potential under selling or whatever going on? Who knows? Or is he just a really bad hitting coach and he got lucky in his past when he first started with the Astros that he had Springer, Jose Altuve in his prime,
right?
Josh Reddick, all ready to go and hitting a ball that no one questioned how bad he was as a coach until he didn't have superstars anymore.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's my theory. You should probably look at the hitting coach.
Okay, and that's fair, and I think it has a lot of merit. Here's my thing, though. You have guys and I just named them. Let's just take Juan Soto and Bo Bichette, newer New York Mets,
right?
And have played for other teams in the league and had success. In Juan Soto's case, he's been a National, Padre, and a Yankee. In Bichette's case, he was a Toronto Blue Jay. Are you really going to a new team and taking the advice of that team's hitting coach? I can't imagine Juan Soto listening at all to Troy Snitker. I can't imagine Bo Bichette being like, yes, sir, let's do it. Unless they truly do have a level of influence and authority that they very well might, but I just can't imagine them actually influencing these professional hitters. I can imagine them influencing younger guys like Brett Beatty, Mark Vientos, Carson Bench. Right. But I can't imagine them having an impact on these elite hitters. But they very well might be.
Are they just not getting enough batting cage practice?
There's no way. I mean, in this era with analytics, these guys are they're going into the cages and they're being fed based on the day pitches that align exactly with the starter that they're facing. There's no way they are not doing the work on the front end of a game to prepare for a game. It's just, I hate to say it, it's something about the Mets. That's just something about the Mets, star players go to the Mets and completely choke.
No, it's also very interesting to see because the Mets do have probably like the second highest payroll, second or third highest behind the
Yes.
Dodgers.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're lacking money. They are not a small market team. They can
No.
afford the superstars.
Yep.
It's just the superstars all of a sudden get to Queens and forget how to ever play baseball. So I think this begs the question, really, since we just also, I'm saying it's a good thing we decided to record today on a Sunday instead of a Saturday. This begs the question of, is Carlos Mendoza's job on the line? We just saw the Red Sox fire everyone. They let, mind you, this was also after the Red Sox. The Red Sox they have one of the worst records in baseball? Yes. But this is also after the Red Sox annihilated the Orioles 17-1, in which manager Alex Cora, hitting coach Peter Fatz, bench coach Ramon Vasquez, and game planning coach Jason Veritek all got let go. We'll probably go back to talking about the Red Sox in a little bit, but do you think this begs the question of, is Carlos Mendoza's job on the line?
I think so, and I think the Mets are right now in perhaps their easiest stretch of schedule that they will be in all season. They, after a dreadful road trip in Los Angeles and Chicago, in which they did not win a game, they came home. They faced the Twins, who are, not the game's elite team by any stretch. They faced the Rockies. They will now have the Nationals come into town. Again, not a good team. They will then go and they will.
The Nationals have been a little hot, though.
Listen, I'm not going to disrespect the Nats, but they are by no stretch.
By no means, they're not
a solid team.
No.
The Mets should be winning at least 2 or 3 of the Nats. They then go to Anaheim, play the Angels. Fine, the Angels have been a little bit hot. You want to give them that? Mets should still be taking 2 of 3 games.
Taking the 2 or 3.
And then they go to Colorado. And so it's like, I look at this stretch, the Mets should be winning every single series here. I think there's a real chance if the Nationals come in and embarrass the Mets the same way the Mets were just embarrassed by the Colorado Rockies, I think there is a chance Carlos Mendoza does not get on the plane to Anaheim. And this is the Mets, so if you've been a Mets fan for a long time, you remember the Mets flew out. They had a homestand, not a good homestand. Willie Randolph, who was the manager at the time, they flew out to Los Angeles, played in Dodger Stadium, won the game, and then fired Willie Randolph at 3 a.m. in the morning. So it's quite possible there's another Mets firing in Los Angeles happening this time in Anaheim. But I do think his job is in danger, and I think because of, we've seen now the Red Sox have fired their manager, and we're going to chat about that in a second. We've got other managers on the hot seat. Phillies managers on the hot seat. I would imagine that Joe Espada is on the hot seat. I mean, thankfully for Espada, he's got, he can point to essentially he lost his entire starting rotation. And he can point to that being the reason why. It's not that the offense, and I do want to talk about the Astros for a minute here, Robyn. It's not that the offense is not producing even without Jeremy Pena.
I just think Espada just keeps making dumb decisions.
And that's what's going to get him in trouble.
I was actually crashing out in your texts on Friday night because I'm sitting here going, Joe Espada is making the dumbest choices right now. But anyways, Well,
also,
I actually pretended the Astros did not exist this weekend. I did not go to another game.
I literally had kind of put on I penciled in on Robyn's calendar. I was like, okay, we're going to go to the game on Saturday. The Yankees are in town. Want to go see the Yankees and the Astros. And then you had texted me. You're like, I don't think I've got a game in me, Tom. I really don't think I do.
I did not.
And it was a good call, though. It was a good call.
We lost by a lot again on Saturday. We finally eked out a win. Bullpen did everything in their power to.
Wait, when did we win?
We won today, 7-4.
Oh, beats me. I saw, so I didn't watch, and shame on me for not watching. I saw the notification come through, and I thought we lost 7-4.
Oh no, we almost lost. We entered the ninth 7-2, and they just kept giving up hits and runs. And I was like, great, our bullpen is going to blow this up again. But no, I just think Espada just keeps making the dumbest decisions. It's like he gives up the game halfway through. He started pulling out his best hitters. So he pulled out Correa. Then he pulled out Jordan. Then he pulled out Paredes and had someone all pinch hit for them. Mind you, this was also after Yiner and Shoemake also went back-to-back home runs. So we were probably only down by 3 runs. Not down by 3 runs. We were down by a lot still. But there were still several innings left in the game. And he also left Colton Gordon in way too long. I guess to preserve the bullpen. But it's also like Colton Gordon gave up 5 runs on his own.
Yep.
So if you had pulled Colton much earlier,
yeah,
I think why are you pinch hitting for your best players in the 7th inning?
I think he's really overthinking right now. I mean, he has, as a manager, you want to have a lot of options to deploy. You want to be able to have a bullpen where you have 2, 3, 4, 5 guys who can come in and get creative and get your way towards the 9th inning and close out the game. Same thing with the bench. You want to have options strategically, lefty, righty matchups, all the things. Joe has no options right now. Like he's got what he's got, and then he has guys you have never heard of. And so I think
I don't know half the roster.
I don't either. I don't either.
Who's Dustin Harris? Who's something Johnson? I can't remember his first name. I just know his last name is Johnson. Who's Shoemake?
Beats me.
Beats me. But I'm just like, so I get he can always point to injuries, and I think we do have 16. If I remember correctly, I do think we have 16 players on the IL.
It's a lot.
We have a whole starting rotation on the IL. So yeah, I get it. He can point to the injuries, but he's not making smart choices. He's not making smart choices.
No.
So, which is why when you're like, I think Espada's on the hot seat, Mendoza's clearly on the hot seat going back to the Mets, which is also interesting because I think the Mets players are also kind of sensing that. So in today's post game, they're all like, oh, no. This is not on Carlos Mendoza. This is not Mendy. This is us. We just suck right now.
Yep.
So we need to play better baseball. So I think after seeing what happened this weekend, they're kind of like, oh, maybe he's next. I think the Phillies are also potentially about to.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something going on there because they are also not playing well. They're also in just as bad of a losing streak as the Mets were. And let's talk a little bit about the Red Sox.
Oh, man. Talk about, Red Sox they've been bad. They are 11-17. They're already 7 games out of first place in the AL East. And to me, we spoke about earlier this year when we were doing our prediction episode, AL East is a stacked division. You've got the Red Sox, who are at least good on paper, the Yankees, the Orioles, the Blue Jays, and you've got the Rays, who are pesky, and as of today are only
really
1 point. Yeah, they're only 1.5 games out of first. So
really well,
and they always do this. So I think you've got the Red Sox really, really underperforming. And I know we had spoken about in the offseason Alex Cora, and will his act wear old? Will the Alex Cora brand of management, which is him being a little bit of a hothead, get old? And it seemed like it got old, but not with the people who you would think. Like, I don't think Alex lost the locker room here at all.
No, the locker room, it's actually very interesting to see because the locker room is all supporting him. I think that locker room was about to mutiny today, if anything. I think this is very much a ownership decision. I think Breslow is the one that everyone's beefing with, because Alex Cora is happy. He replied all to the email with a winky face.
Yep.
He's posting to the story about Mookie Betts' trade. He is happy. And the players, they're also in the interviews that they're giving today are also saying things like, well, they made it really clear that we're here to play baseball and they're not answering any of our questions, or we're playing the way today that Alex Cora would have wanted us to. So they're kind of talking about like Cora like he's dead just a little bit.
Yeah.
But no, it's very much like these are Alex Cora's boys, and they will forever be Alex Cora's boys.
Yeah.
And then former players too are also saying some shit. Like they are speaking to the press and saying things like it's like shitting your pants and changing your shirt. So they don't think
it's a good line.
The issue. It's a very funny line. I've heard some people say they think this is a Dustin Pedroia quote.
It probably is.
They think this is a Dustin Pedroia quote.
Yeah.
But like it's very much like, despite the fact that you and I just very much don't like Alex Cora, it seems like the base themselves are in Alex Cora's corner and not Brett Lowe's.
You're correct, Robyn. I think going back to the players, right? Here's the problem. The players, I'm sure, are not happy that Cora was fired. It seemed like he had the locker room still and they enjoyed playing for him. Right. I think what Red Sox management did wrong here is they didn't involve the players. Now, what you're not going to do is you're not going to go into the locker room and say, hey guys, how's it going? Y'all are playing like ass right now.
Shit.
Should we get a new manager in here to rile you up? You don't do that. What you do, and this is a lesson in leadership, this is leadership 101. When you make a decision, you go out and you wear it and you own that decision. So what was weird was to see Craig Breslow and ownership and Red Sox brain trust make the decision, but then not engage with the players. Or when you engage with them, you're like, hey guys, just go out there and play, and that's it. You need to focus on playing baseball. Listen, as much as we want baseball players to be, input, output, play the game, win the game, move on with life, there is a human element to playing the game. And it is not a good look on the Red Sox part to essentially just make this decision, not go in the locker room and own this with the team and explain the rationale as to why you're bringing in a new voice. I think none of us are going to disagree with it was probably time to bring in a new manager to the Red Sox, right? Really underperforming. The Alex Cora shtick got old, but the fact that they didn't go in and own it, I think, is what's going to actually make this move backfire. And they're setting up Chad Tracy, their interim manager, who was managing the AAA affiliate of the Boston Red Sox. They just made his job 10 times harder because now he's coming into a fractured locker room. He's coming into a situation in which guys are like, I know you, but who the hell are you and why are you here? And so shame on the Red Sox management for completely fumbling this move. And it just surprises me, Robyn, like in this day and age, they still don't know how to fire people properly. And we just have lost, I feel like, in society, like the ability to do things with grace and finesse. And I know I'm ranting here, and we can go back to this, but shame on the Red Sox.
If you want to talk about fumbling, can you also talk about fumbling the PR around it as well?
Oh my God! Yes.
So they're in Baltimore, mind you, while this is happening. So they call for a van to pick up these fired coaches, and on the van itself, it says "Coaches4Hire," like just fumbling every step of this.
So
just,
bad.
Like, the imaging behind it's so bad.
Well, it's also okay. It's been okay. This is cool. This is interesting, cool, and also kind of sad because of social media and now managers and coaches. So many of them being former players and having grown up on social media, they engage on social media more. So it's been interesting to see Alex's reaction and some of his coaches' reaction to this. But this specifically, we're now with Twitter and beat reporters. You're seeing kind of like the logistics of it all. The fact that, and I'm sure they did not know when they ordered this. No, they had to have known. The name of the company is Coaches4Hire LLC. Like, how do you? And then you're telling. How do
you mess this up?
You're telling these guys, and we have a picture of it right now. You're telling these guys to get in this damn van that says Coaches4Hire sitting outside their hotel, and then they get on it, and then you see Alex Cora.
They're all smiling. They're excited that they're finally out of this environment. No, and the thing is, like, there's another article that was printed today that basically said that the Red Sox locker room at this point is just toxic positivity. Like, they're so positive that it's become toxic, and it's become like a very tough environment to be in because you can't express any form of discontent.
Right. That's not good. That is not good. We are in just such a weird. This whole story has been fascinating, Robyn. I know you and I have been following it. And Alex Cora just replying to everybody's messages, and then he posted something on Twitter like, happy. Yes. And you know what? He should be, because here's what's going to happen with Alex. He's getting paid out his contract. He can manage tomorrow. Now, the whole thing right now is, everybody's saying Alex Cora is the next manager of the New York Mets already. I mean, Mendoza still.
He's going to be in Philly next. That's what
Philly. So Dave Dombrowski likes him, but also he's very close with Alex Cora. Alex Cora is very close with Francisco Lindor. They have the Puerto Rican connection. Mets owner Steve Cohen's wife is Puerto Rican, and so she's very involved with the team in the operations of the team. And so I feel like that is sort of a connection. He could have a job tomorrow if he wants. Now, I'm not going to say he's going to, but just weird vibes surrounding the Red Sox right now. They've been a complete and total mess. Granted, I'm happy to have another team be a mess if it's not my team, but I did not predict teams. I was not predicting the Red Sox to be the first team that fired their manager. I did not expect that.
I think in our predictions episode, we said the Philadelphia was going to go first.
And they very well might be the second or the third.
It might be the second or third, maybe even fourth if this Espada thing falls through as well. Yeah,
it's going to be very, very interesting. But what else is going on, Robyn, in the world of Major League Baseball?
Okay, so there's been a couple other things going on. Just the other, I want to say, I think that's the big topic this week in baseball, really, has to do with the Shohei Ohtani rule. Like, even...
That deserved a drum roll. I'm sorry.
I was not expecting a drum roll, so I'm like, Shohei Ohtani rule, and the drum roll's still going. But no, sorry, my hands just also, I have my cat right next to me, and my hands are just covered in her, like, food, so, like, I'm trying to, like, multitask right now as well.
Okay, here, you can clean your hands, and I'll set the scene here.
No, I'm back. I'm okay.
Oh, she's back. Okay. Take it.
I'm here. I'm just gonna take it. I have a little Clorox swab right here. I'm good to go. So essentially, the Shohei Ohtani rule has become like this week's big topic. Like, even Ken Rosenthal is speaking on it, so it's kind of like big. And like, I cannot stand that man with the bow tie at all. The worst. But okay, so just really quickly, for those of you who don't know what the Shohei Ohtani rule is, this was established back in 2022, and it allows a starting pitcher, who is also the team's designated hitter, to remain in the game as the designated hitter, even after he is no longer pitching. So this way, like in the past, if he was stepping off the mound, he would also not be allowed to continue hitting. They would put someone else in. So this way, it also permits players who are designated as two-way players, so they can both bat and they can both pitch. They are not counted towards the 13 pitcher limit on active rosters. So active rosters consist of 26 players, 13 of which are pitchers and 13 of which are hitters. And with the Shohei Ohtani rule, because Shohei can do both, he is counted as a hitter. So the Dodgers at this point are able to employ 14 pitchers total, the 13 and Shohei Ohtani. So this was implemented while Ohtani was still on the Angels, which is why some people are like, why is it becoming an issue now? But the Dodgers, but he did sign with the Dodgers at the end of the 23 season end of 2023 to the play with them starting in the 24 season.
Mm-hmm.
But it's becoming an issue now since if starting to feel like a very unfair advantage for the Dodgers, who have won back-to-back World Series, who have consistently gone to the postseason, despite how their fans are always like, our backs are to the wall, we are down in the dirt. And the Dodgers also have no qualms in taking advantage of this loophole. Like, for example, Blake Snell is just chilling on the IL, streaming MLB The Show on Twitch while until he's ready to get activated in July. So they always are going to have healthy pitchers on staff, and this is how they've managed it last year. And where they keep their pitchers healthy by ILing them until it's time for the postseason, and they're all ready to go essentially. So Dave Roberts here is like, well, y'all can find your own special players. And it's like, how many players realistically are you going to consider two-way players? And so I feel like a lot of former players are also chiming in. That's the thing. A lot of former players are also chiming in at this point, and they're saying the most realistic way to solve this issue is to just eliminate that 13-13 limit. Let teams design their player roster however they want to. I know the limit was set in place in the first place was to prevent them from having too many pitchers. But if you're having one team with 14 pitchers while everyone else has 13, I think over time, especially when that one team has an never-ending wallet, over time it does become an unfair. It does start feeling really, really unfair.
I agree. It's unfair, however. Number one, have you heard about Shohei Ohtani's dog?
Decoy? No, I have beef with this dog. I have legit beef with this dog.
Why? Look at him. He's a beautiful dog.
MLB, their main Twitter account tweets more about this damn dog than the Colorado Rockies. Did you know that the Padres and the Arizona Diamondbacks are playing in Mexico City this weekend?
Honestly, I wouldn't have known if not for one of our fans.
No one knew that because they tweet about this man and his dog more than they tweet about anything else happening around the league. They'll give this man all caps tweets, and then the next tweet it's all lowercase. I have legit beef with this dog. I'll say that loud and proud.
It's a good-looking dog, though.
Oh, it's
a great-looking dog.
It's a
very beautiful dog. Oh man. Well,
what?
Not to bring up a sore subject, but yeah, I think so. Here's the thing: is there ever going to be a rule change to address the Shohei Ohtani situation? No.
I feel with this lockout that's coming next year, right? If the Players Association, that's the thing. If the Players Association wants to make this one of their things, they could. I will say, though, I don't really have much faith in the Players Association right now either, just due to all the scandals.
Yeah, they've had a huge... Listen, they can't even keep their own shit locked down. They've got a lot of issues going into negotiations. Completely rocked. And so, yeah, I don't... Here's the thing, though. It is a really... It's true. Nobody cared about this when he was on the Angels. Right. And it's because the Angels... were lucky enough to sign him as an international free agent, and they weren't winning. So I think nobody cared. It's an issue now because he's on the Dodgers. We don't like the Dodgers. I just don't think there's ever going to be a rule change here. And I'm torn on if there should be. I mean, I think I'm not torn. I think there should be. But I do kind of understand and I hate this is now probably the third week I'm kind of standing Dave Roberts here, but I think Dave Roberts has a good point. Hey, technically there are more guys who could do this, so why don't they do it? Now, it's easier said than done, but I am not going to lie to you and say if suddenly the Mets were to sign or to drafts a two-way player and he turned out to be really good, I'm gonna be like, yeah, this is great. We can save a whole roster spot and like have more pitchers on our staff as a result of it. So I don't know. It's just a weird place, and I think to me there's zero chance of this ever being addressed. So I don't know what to make of it.
Yeah, I just think.
Let's talk about somebody though.
Yeah.
And can we talk about somebody who's become so unlikable?
Yeah.
Dalton Rushing.
Oh my gosh. This man has become like the MLB poster boy for assholes. And this is not us. Let me just say, this is not us just dragging the Dodgers for no reason. I think this is he just keeps ending up in the Twitter baseball news sphere just for being a complete asshole. Like during games.
Mm-hmm. What did he do this week?
So earlier this week during the Dodgers-Giants series, there was a play that was happening. This is another aggressive play that was happening on like at home plate essentially, where Jung-Hoo Lee got tagged out at home and he kind of like landed weird or whatever, and he looked injured afterwards. He ended up being fine, but Dalton Rushing was just seen yelling like "fuck him." And just like one of those, like, just not a great look in general. This is right after the whole Colorado's fishy circumstance. So then the next game, Logan Webb. Well, before that happens, he's like online, like at interviews, making excuses. He's saying like, no, I didn't say that to him. And everyone's like, we have video proof of it, dude. But Logan Webb ends up hitting him during the 6th inning. Maybe in retaliation. If you ask Logan Webb, he's very old school. I think he's one who like, I protect my boys, but he's like in the interview, he's like, no, this didn't happen because of Jung-Hoo. But and then Dalton Rushing also had just like one again really aggressive bad slide into second, where it seemed like he may have also intentionally slid into the person covering second. So it's just all over the news, especially with the historic Giants-Dodgers rivalry. Just he kind of dominated that storyline. And then Dodgers are back in LA and the Cubs are in town playing them. And PCA was a little bit of dominated storyline because PCA came online and basically said, like, fuck the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Dodger fans are fake. So he's like, so Dodger fans have been trying to clown him, but everyone's like, no. You should probably be the real clown is Dalton Rushing again. Because during that, like, their 6-0 win yesterday, Amaya was able to Cubs catcher was able to steal second base on him, and so he was seen. He was slow. He was late to getting the ball to second, so Amaya was safe. And he's seen after calling Amaya fat fuck just on camera, and like his Nico Horner's just staring at him like, did I hear you right? Like,
what is going on?
It's just like, why do you keep making the news? I can't say you're really making the news, but like, why are you consistently the front of the storyline for every game that's happening?
He really came out of nowhere, like, and suddenly he is the villain on a team of villains. He is the villain, and so I both respect it, and I'm also like, I'm like, this is a little bit odd.
Yeah. No, it's just one of those things where like I like the competitiveness, but at the same time I'm like, dude, there are cameras everywhere. Maybe we should start watching what we're saying just a little bit. Just a little bit. I will say though, I think he has can I say this? I don't know. I think he kind of looks weird. He just also has a very punchable face to me. I think it's the nose. I think if you pull up a picture of him and if you're like, I think it's just the nose area. I just want to, like, he's just like someone I just want to punch. Which maybe just adds to the whole, like, vibe. I don't know. See? Like, do you not want to punch this man?
Okay. I can see it. I mean,
I if I was born this unfortunate looking, maybe I'd be this aggressive towards the rest of the world too.
No, Robyn.
Better they talk about what's coming out of my mouth than what's on my face.
Oh my god. Moving on.
Moving on.
Oh my gosh. Well, let's.
This is not because I'm like just trying to find everything wrong with the Dodgers. This is not me doing that. This is just me saying like, like, what is this man? I'm just
one of a kind.
One of a kind. How are you going to keep ending up being the storyline whenever they play because of something you've said?
That is me. Moving on to our next topic. We've got a little bit of a kangaroo court situation happening, Robyn.
Okay, so this is, I think for me, I added this onto our outline for the day, just because I think it's fun.
Yeah.
But there have been a couple kangaroo courts that's been happening already. So I think the Blue Jays. Oh, the poor Blue Jays.
The poor Blue Jays.
They've been ending up on the IL just left and right. And the last thing that hit their IL has been their plane. Their plane was having some engine issues. So this is when they're trying to travel from Arizona to LA for their series against the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. If I think I said it correctly.
You sure did.
And so they just tossed Dylan Cease on a first class ticket because they're like, because he's pitching the next game. They're like, go get some rest. The rest of us are just going to shuttle. We're going to take a bus. We're going to charter our bus and get there. So Scherzer is like, I'm not doing that. I'm not dealing with this. And so they had like a little Scherzer versus John Snyder kangaroo court, all in good fun sort of thing because of the situation.
Oh boy.
And then
what a mess.
What a mess. And then another kangaroo court that was more implied is that Jazz Chisholm Jr. needs to stop. Okay, I say it needs to stop making ABS challenges, but I actually want him to continue since I think they're so funny because he's so bad at them.
So bad.
He's so bad. I think you can probably pull up a picture of it. But essentially, he's from an interview. He's implied that he has to pay $1,000 fine each time he makes a bad ABS call from like to the team. So like he has to like pay for like $1,000 worth of dinner or something. Like look how. So basically, off of like a little kangaroo court hearing they've had, in regards to him.
I mean, clearly he doesn't care too much about that little fine he's paying because he is just out there tapping. And the problem is, I mean, it's funny. Like for the entertainment value of it all, I'm loving it. Like this, if you're watching right now, you can see he challenged a ball that was about as down the middle as it comes, and then he's looking like, oh yeah, I guess so.
They're much like, oh damn.
But it's just also like you only get 2 of these a game per team, so I don't understand how he's not getting more flack from guys in the locker room. You know, yeah. And
I think he is because he did it again today. That's the thing. He did it again. No, not today. This is from 2 nights ago. He did it again last night when Brian Abreu was pitching. And I think he was down. I think the count was 0-2 or something. I don't remember. And then again, it was basically down the middle, except this time is more to the right. And he just like goes, oh damn, like just wasting these challenges.
Wild. Oh man, this still is one of my favorite parts about this season, though, is the reactions, the split screen. And I've noticed not every team is doing the split screen. The Yankees are doing it, of course, which is how we're getting so many of these fun images. But I need this to become like the Mets haven't done it yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I need every MLB broadcast to do this split screen of the result and the player's reaction because it's just too good. It is too good.
No, but I also just I just want to say I appreciate like ABS in general.
Me
I think
too.
it's been incredible.
Yeah.
Since like even today's game, I guess the Mets game against the Rockies, Brett Beatty, I guess, wasn't a fan of being called out or anything, but he was just walking away. He kind of threw his bat, started walking away. And then the ump was like, well, why don't you challenge it then? Why don't you challenge it? Well, ABS. And Brett Beatty's like, he turns around and goes, are you talking to me? Are you talking to me? I'm walking away. Like, are you trying to pick a fight with me?
I both respect the umpire for saying that, and then I'm also like, not for umpires trying to bait players into an argument. But I mean, hey, the umpire is not wrong. If you feel so strongly, tap the head.
Tap your head.
I don't know. Wild. Also, I saw this tweet, Robyn. I just want to share it before we get into our wild pitch of the week. Who gets fired first, Cash Patel or Carlos Mendoza? I will say, I think last night probably bought Cash Patel a couple more weeks on the job. But bizarrely enough.
I think that was staged, but don't hold me to it. Don't hold those words to me.
Something's weird about that whole situation. Something is weird.
First time he goes to the dinner, and all of a sudden, wow, an attempt.
Yeah, something stinks about that. Something stinks for sure. Oh boy. Well.
Anyways,
I'm loving the drum roll. I'm sorry. It is that time for the wild pitch of the week, and I will lead us off with another short and sweet wild pitch. You may have heard it before, Robyn. Abolish the New York Mets. Dissolve the team. Let's do a redraft. Let those players, like when a team does an expansion team, and you essentially have to put up players. I just want let's just move on. The experiment is over. The Mets are jinxed. Let's dissolve the franchise. And then we can try again in a few years and rename it something else. Abolish the New York Mets. That is my wild pitch of the week.
Send them to Montreal. Bring back the Expos.
Yeah, bring back. Yes. Oh my gosh. Robyn, what's your wild pitch of the week?
Okay. At this point, I think mine is very similar in line to yours, and also very similar in line to what we've been talking about earlier this episode. I don't really know if this is even considered a wild pitch at this point, because if you ask all of Astros Twitter, I think 75% will agree with this. But fire the entire Astro staff. Fire the trainers and conditioning coaches, because why are players getting injured at the rate that they're getting injured? Like, I get it. Freak accidents happen. But why are they pulling things like hamstrings in the middle of the game? Like, did they just not warm up enough? Like,
I don't know.
Are you not conditioning them well? Fire the pitching staff. Like, our pitching rotation used to be feared. Our bullpen was solid, but now like everyone knows we're a fucking joke. No one can pitch a strike to save their life. Like, literally, if you just ask anyone what a typical Astros pitching inning it is walk, walk, single, walk, walk, doubles, walk, walk, until maybe finally an out. So we're just blowing up games left and right. I would say, like, I think back when we first started this podcast, we were excited because we were like, we got some good pitching. We have a great pitching lab. They're going to like fix these pitchers and turn them to something incredible. What happened to our pitching lab? Why do we have the worst like team ERA?
Yeah.
And then finally fire Joe Espada and Dana Brown. Yes, there's only so much they can do with the constraints that they're given. Like, Dana Brown is being given constraints by Jim Crane and to how much he can spend. Joe Espada can only work with what he has. But at the same time, they're both just making bad decisions. Yeah, and so it's just poor decision after poor decision on both of their ends. So I think it's time to call up Omar Lopez and give him a shot.
May as well.
Yeah.
What do they have to lose at this point?
Exactly.
Yikes. Well, it'll be interesting to see when we come back next week what the status of some of these guys who have been on the hot seat will be, whether the Mets have a new manager, whether the Phillies have a new manager. Generally, a lot of these decisions don't happen until June, so which is why it was all the more dramatic that the Red Sox did this, a month into the season. But I think we can both agree, Robyn, just the vibes of this season so far have been so off.
No, I think we talked about this as well. Like, baseball is something we both love. It's been both of our like way to get away from like the everyday drag of being adults in our 30s, right?
Yeah.
And I don't even know where I was going with this, but it's just I promise you I was going somewhere with this and then I completely lost my train of thought. But
it's okay. That's what this season has done to us. This is a perfect example of it.
I remember now. And so when we started this podcast, we had so much energy. We were so excited going into the season. And now it just feels like another thankless job where we have to just keep following baseball in order to have something to talk about each week.
Correct.
And it's just...
Oh, boy. I still love doing this with you.
I love
doing Robyn,
this. It's so much fun doing this with you, but there are times I'm like, damn.
Prepping for this, I'm like, oh my God. I know. Why? Like, can't we just talk about other things? Like, do we really have to talk about baseball? But unfortunately, that's what people are coming here to listen for to an extent. And it's also been fun this week, Robyn. I've had a couple of people message me and come up to me and like, they're like, I love the banter between you and Robyn, and like it's such a fun listen. I don't even know much about baseball, but like learning about baseball, just a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun, even though baseball sucks right now, and we will be coming back next week with more news, more hot takes. I am still, just want to update you on this for the people, I am still in last place in our fantasy baseball league, but I'm within striking distance of 12th. My team is on the rise. So get ready for it, Robyn. Get ready. First place, here I come.
Alrighty. We just gotta hand Fidel some of our bad luck. Alright, well, we will catch y'all next time.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for listening to Bad Pitch Energy.